Well, let us discuss this question calmly. Am I dead or am I not? Dark, but it doesn't mean that I'm blind. Well, suppose if I'm not dead in this tomb, I soon shall be. 10 cities will claim to be the place where I was born, but this will triumphantly establish itself as the place where I died. You know, I wonder, with this great marble monument outside, why I lay dead inside. Oh, you fool. Much more likely this is a tomb, a jail. Yes, I remember it all now. Princess's guard, fight, the notes. Oh, I don't remember the notes. Well, definitely in prison. A great earthenware jug of cold water, and a hunk of dry bread. Then you know you're in prison, life of the poor, and 12 volumes by the author of... whatever. Suppose bread is better than nothing. Even water may be drunk in extreme desperate cases of thirst. It's cider. It's good cider. And this is... Hey. Oh. It's the ginger cake and curds that I liked when I was a little boy. On the other hand, maybe the reason they urge that I'm not a little boy. That settles it. There's only one solution to the problem. I've died and gone to heaven. An angel, my lady.
No, I'm afraid you're mistaken. I'm only, shall we say, a hostess?
Oh. Your Highness will have to forgive me. I have just had a bit of a shock. I thought it was dead. Now I appear to have to accept another shock. I find that I'm alive.
Do you find that so very shocking?
I do find it a little bit embarrassing. You see, I never really was alive before.
Well, especially if I was afraid that those gods of mine had really killed you. It would have been, to say the least, an excessive punishment for playing the guitar. Old fool. I've told them again and again not to interfere with troubadours or fools, so I sent them to the barracks for a bit, which is letting them off lightly.
Well, I do hope the poor fellow has not gotten into any trouble from my account.
I don't think you need worry. I am not very severe. He'll have bread and water for one night.
May I make a suggestion?
I'm always open to suggestions.
Don't let him find water in his pot. Lock him up, keep him in prison, and put cider in his water.
What on earth do you mean?
My lady, I have just drunk cider that was like nectar, because I thought that it was going to be water.
You are an odd person. There's really something on what you say.
Sounds good. Lady, you are the sunlight and starlight of your people. They must dance from dawn to dusk, and thank God when they think of you.
Well, I do my best. I think I do some good. Near the older people around here own their own land, and those who cannot have good regular wages. They seem contented. There are few complaints. Every man is secure of finding cider in the cider cask. Every man has a pig at the pig trough. But as for dancing in the streets, well, perhaps I'm not a dancing sort. Perhaps I'm not a singing sort. But as for thanking God, I will not say they're not a thanking sort. Oh, they are contented. I am content.
You seem a little sad. People generally are when they say they are content. You see, people really want supplies. They do not want security or sufficiency. They want supplies. They do not want regular wages. They want irregular wealth. Well, you say that every man can find a pig at the pig trough and cider in the cider cask. Well, ever one day they woke up and found cider in the pig trough and pig in the cider cask. Well, they would think they were in a fairy tale.
Is that why you want them to find cider in the prison?
My lady, it is because I have just drunk such cider that was never drunk since the Feast of Carnival. Only God can work such a miracle. I never had that cider at any banquet or tavern. For there, I was expecting cider. I never had it until this night, when I was blind, desperate, in the black darkness, believing myself buried alive. But thou hast kept the good side of it.
Was not that the miracle of the wedding feast?
Yes, Your Highness, I am told that you are near your own.
Oh. always a surprise.
Yes. I have sometimes wondered if the wedding would not be as sudden as the wooing.
It's strange that you should say that just now.
Your Highness thinks it's strange?
Because it's something that has been in my thoughts for some time.
I trust I didn't say anything unfitting.
No, very fitting. It's strange because it fits so well into what I have been thinking.
I do not presume to inquire into your Highness's affairs.
Well, I suppose you know what everyone else does. Phoebus, now king of Pontarabia, was once an outlaw knight fleeing from the wrath of his overlord, and he hid in this castle, which was a more famous and powerful castle in my father's day. My father protected him and gave him horse and money, and the world knows the rest. The wild boy who hid with us became the first soldier of fortune of the age, defeated his overlord, and conquered 4 or 5 kingdoms till his glory shone from Baghdad to Biscay. He is now more like an emperor than a king. Meanwhile, our own fortunes have fallen, and my little province is shrunken and impoverished. All that remains to be said is this, that before he left us long ago, Phoebus had promised to be engaged to me, to fulfill his debt to my father for protecting him. He had promised to come back and claim his arriving today.
I see. Well, he is a unique and eccentric sort of hero. He has actually gained his glory and not lost his honor.
I never had any doubt about his being faithful to his honor.
To his honor?
Why am I telling you all this?
Great lady, great saint, I have not the wildest notion why you do not throw me out the front door.
Because you persuaded me with your very surprising and curious surprises. What would look more like lunacy to most people than your talk of the pig in the cider cask. Yet it was true. I know it, and I shall remember it. It fits into my plans, and for that plan I want the help of your diplomacy and persuasion. For that plan it is necessary that the king of Pontarabia should keep his pledge and the wedding be celebrated here.
Wait, you mean his marriage to your Highness? Oh, well, certainly there's no man alive who needs to be convinced of that.
I'm not so sure, but I want you to make it sure. Come, I put you my ambassador.
My lady would be as great an honor and perhaps more in character if you were to appoint me scarecrow in your kitchen garden. But perhaps it is simply better to say that it is my duty as diplomat to complete the royal marriage negotiations. It should be easy for everyone. It should be happy for everyone else. It is only difficult for the diplomat.
Well, I do want to make people happy. I've always tried to make them happy. And if I do not always succeed, you show me the reason why. There really is no happiness without surprise.
Oh.
Princess, it is the king, and he found the seven wonders in the temple once before the emperor. Of course, you know the story.
I'm afraid, my dear, that you know more stories than I do.
But everyone knows how the emperor sent out 7 great cannon to destroy his little company. And he answered them scornfully with the sound of 7 trumpets. And he charged and cut them to pieces of cold steel. But I must go see that the household is ready for his train.
I was telling you that I like to make people happy. But you were quite wrong when you called me a saint. Now, she is a saint. And yet, in a strange way, I find it difficult to make her happy.
Well, perhaps that is because she is happy.
She seems to be only happy when she is making herself unhappy. You know the sort of person who always chooses goat because she prefers venison. It generally ends by my forcibly giving her venison even if she prefers goat. It's never right to make a saint.
Yes, I know the type. If you want to give her anything she really wants, you're going to have to bind her hand and foot and thrust it down her throat by violence.
You're an amazing man. Do you mean that you're against anything of my plan?
I'm a diplomat, madam, and know nothing beyond my instructions.